What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our third and final episode of Read and React. This is your RU Sports talk show where we talk about everything that's happening in RU Sports this week, athlete interviews, and everything in between. I'm your host, Chandra, and let's get into it. So it's the grand finale of RU Athletics, and the seasons are winding down. We celebrate the final stretch of competition and PacWest championships for a lot of the teams, and let's take one last victory lap through this extraordinary end of an era for RU Athletics. This is your nightly recap. First, RU Softball. RU Softball closed out their season celebrating their senior day and celebrating those who are finishing their career here in RU. So congratulations to those large group of women that are not only graduating, but some that are just choosing to end their career. So congratulations to you guys. And in their final series, they actually took a game off of Concordia, which is a really big opponent in the PacWest Conference. So congratulations to them for that. And that win was actually a walk-off, which is really crazy. Their walk-off was a single by Liberty Herrera in the 9th inning, which pushed RU to that victory to start off the series. Though they dropped their next two games in the series, it was a really great night to close out for those athletes that are finishing their careers and a send-off to that final softball senior class. Tennis, this is finished their season, and they actually had one winner in the Win PacWest Player of the Year title for them, and that was Amelia Supelnice, and she was actually the first PacWest Player of the Year for tennis in program history, so congratulations to her. And Estelle Najin claimed an all-PacWest second team title as well. And after battling in their PacWest tournament, the women's team went out the only way they know how, with a dub over UH Hilo to close the tennis program out on a high note. Women's golf had a really great season, and they just finished recently, and they concluded their season at the NCAA D2 West Regionals. And they concluded the region with a 15th place finish out of lots of competitors, so that is really amazing. And they had 2 urban nights within the top half of the competition. With all underclassmen on their roster, we look forward to seeing their bright futures ahead and what schools they choose and where they end up. And then we have men's golf. Men's golf had a really exciting season as well. They competed at the PacWest Championships with Giulio Zanichelli finishing out in the top 5 of that competition. Anson Pan was also among the top finishers for RU with 15th place. Zanichelli's top 10 finish now gives him sole possession of the RU program record for most career top 10 finishes, pushing him to be the sole urban knight to qualify for the West Regionals. And finally, we have track and field, last but not least. There's one track meet on the horizon for RU track and field, and it's a big one. Many of them have set their eyes on nationals, and in the near future, they hope to bring home some hardware back to RU. The Last Chance meet down in LA provided some entertainment with different RU athletes pushing their times and marks to put themselves in the standings to go to the big meet. The first one being Yakuba Nyako in the triple jump, who now holds the #1 spot in the country in triple jump, which is crazy. And then the men's 4x4 relay quartet of Trayshawn Bowie, Robin Black, Tariq Dacrease, and Josh Marlin are now 3rd in the nation. And Johnny Eintz moved up in his 100-meter dash. And that's a wrap on this week's The Nightly Update. As the final buzzer sounds on RU Athletics, we celebrate every athlete, coach, and supporter who made this program unforgettable. Though the games may be over, the legacy of the Urban Knights will live on. In every highlight, every memory, every heart. Once a night, always a night. Stick around because we have more after this break. We're going to interview an athlete that was actually affected by the shutdown and see kind of where her head's at. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Read and React. I'm your host, Chandra, and we're here for a segment that I like to call Fast Break. This one's gonna have a little bit of a different note, as everybody knows the news broke about RU Athletics closing their athletics department come June 3rd. So I wanted to take a little bit of a moment to kind of touch on that a little bit, because it does affect lots of athletes. And yeah, I just wanted to get some real world, tell me a little bit about your experience. So this is Elise Day.
Hi, my name is Elise Day. I'm a part of the women's volleyball team here. I'm from Los Angeles. And yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course.
And I know that this is obviously not, the best news, but I think that there's possibility for there to be like some good in it, like trying to be optimistic about it.
For sure.
So I do want to ask you some questions about obviously how the program shut down. And the next segment, we'll switch it up a little bit and maybe, it'll be a little bit of a lighter note.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what was your first reaction when you heard that RU Athletics was being discontinued?
Well, my first reaction was with everyone when we was in the meeting, and it was very emotional and just shocking and unreal. Obviously, the whole day just didn't feel real, but as time went on, things got better and more put in a positive light.
Yeah, and able to kind of see the good in it.
Yeah, just everything happens for a reason, and just figuring out what the reason is for you.
No, yeah, 100%. And how was being part of the RU volleyball program, how has it shaped you? Both on and off the field, that can be through friendships or, spending your time in San Francisco or, anything.
I feel like most definitely it has taught me a lot about adversity, just being able to navigate through things that may not go your way, but still able to stay positive throughout everything, and still being able to be there for others if it's maybe not going your way, but still being a positive light and just being able to still impact others.
Yeah, no, 100%. I love that answer, because I always think about pressure makes diamonds, and I think that this is one of those things, the people that do choose to move on, I think that it will help them better appreciate that every game you have to play it's your last.
Exactly, most definitely. We still had our spring season, so it was still crazy because especially no one really knew what their decisions or what they were doing, but still wow, this could be my last time playing. This doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Obviously no one wanted this to be the ending, but it's still crazy at the same time.
Yeah, and the transfer portal is scary, man. The transfer portal is no joke. That will test your confidence and everything you thought as an athlete, that will test you.
Exactly.
No, I get that. Okay, what moment will you remember most from your time as an Urban Knight?
I think mostly just the energy that will be brought at the games. I feel that will always be nice, and just being able to do the warm-ups, just getting into that mode.
Yeah.
And just the environment overall, just that's always been my favorite times. That's when I would look forward to the games for sure. Just having everything come to light from practice, and just seeing everyone have that energy and enthusiasm.
Yeah, 100%. And what do you want people to remember about this program and our team?
I think most definitely just how you have to know how to appreciate the things that you have and don't have, for sure, because we experienced a lot, but we still was positive and still trying to look into the brighter side of things. So just being able to know what you have and be fortunate.
100%. Absolutely. And final question, this is a personal one. What are your plans going forward? Are you going to stay at RU? Are you going to leave? Are you trying to still play volleyball?
Right now I'm still looking at my options, but I personally would like to leave so I can start a new path, because I feel it's time to close the chapter here.
Absolutely.
And I feel me in a different environment will help me grow more, because I have learned a lot about myself, especially with all this, and I feel that would be the best for me, just mentally and just everything overall.
Absolutely. Well, I wish you the absolute best of luck on that.
Thank you.
And, next segment, we're going to turn the page a little lighter chapter. So there's going to be some tough goodbyes with this RU program. And I think right now we heard a little bit about it. But like I said, we're going to switch notes here, and we'll be back right after this for Behind the Lines.
When your family is growing in ways you never expected,
You'd like to be outside the city.
agents who are realtors are here for it. Here for the journey. Here with local knowledge beyond the listing. Here for it all, because that's who we are.
When you need a partner committed to your vision, agents who are realtors are here for it. Here with market expertise that makes a difference. Here for it all, because that's who we are.
It's $5. Ooh. How about $1?
Getting what you want for less? Kogan.com. Clicking awesome.
Welcome back to Read and React. I'm your host, Chandra Reed, and this is our third and final segment called Beyond the Lights. And I think that this segment is really important to me because I do believe that athletes are more than their uniform and more than how they perform on the court. So I want to get to know you a little bit about how you are off the court.
Okay.
So when you're not practicing or competing, what do you usually do, on a day-to-day basis?
Day-to-day basis, if we're still in school, I will be having class and doing homework because I am a fashion stylist major, so there's a lot that takes within that. So especially with this semester and this year, because I'm also a junior, so it's been a lot tackling on. But if I'm not doing anything school-wise, just trying to explore into the city.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I think being in San Francisco is the coolest part about this school, and it's kind of crazy out here. So it's really nice to just be out.
Yeah.
I get that. And do you have any hidden talents or hobbies that maybe we don't know about or your teammates don't know about?
I'm gonna be honest. It's not really anything hidden, but I just really like exploring or going to new places, if anything. I know at back home, that's what I like doing the most. And I feel now how everything has shifted, I feel I've had more opportunities to explore the city more than I have.
Yeah, so adventurous.
Yeah.
I get that. And what is your favorite project that you have worked on here at RU?
It will probably be my recent project, which was a video for a class where I had to come up with a mini commercial for a brand and style it. So the brand was Gap, and I had to get clothes from the Gap and other clothes that was provided and come up with outfits and have it be a little ad commercial. So that one was actually cool and my favorite so far.
And you had to go out and shop for these pieces yourself.
Yeah, depending on the brand that you choose, you have to go and get those pieces are pieces inspired by the brand.
That's crazy. But that sounds super fun because I love to shop. So literally to shop for a class sounds like so much
Yeah,
fun.
but it'd be taxing for sure.
Taxing, I'm knowing. Okay, and how do you hope that your teammates or coaches remember you?
Just as a very calm, spirited energy. I feel I've always been known for that, so just want to still keep that going, just being a positive light.
Yeah, very down to earth. Sometimes you might be too chill or is she even listening?
Yeah.
And I love that about you. I love that about you. And you'd be like, Elise, are you? And you're like,
Yes, I be in my own world sometimes, but I like it.
And I respect that. And I think we will remember you that way.
Yes.
And I love that about you. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing, your side of the story and how you are off the court.
Thank you.
Of course. And that's a wrap on Beyond the Lights. As we close out this chapter in RU athletics, we do so with pride And this may be the end of an era, but the legacy lives on in every story shared, each dream chased, and each life touched by this program. Thank you for watching, supporting, and celebrating with us. For the final time, this is Read and React. Once a night, always a night.